gentlemen, may I have your attention to the following
What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday at 7 p.m. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. We are live. Thanks for watching on TikTok. Thanks for watching on YouTube. And as always, thanks for being there live on Facebook Live. It is Thursday at 7 p.m., so we're going to get you over to Matt Johnson and see what he's got going on. What's up, Matt?
Oh, another Thursday. We're here with you. I am happy that you are going to join us, or you will join us, or you have joined us, and also that you guys have bought some. Wait a minute, you guys need to go buy more T-shirts. I'm going to keep saying it. Trying to give away some money, and you guys don't want to help us. So, give us your money so we can give it to somebody else. So, sameflagsameoath.com. Got an amazing guest this week. We're gonna shake things up a little bit, but I did have two things that I wanted to go into. Al Hero's not here because as he gets another year older, he forgets what day and what time we come on, I think, because his birthday's today. So happy birthday, fucker. Hope you're enjoying time with family, and we'll see you next week. And I also wanted to recognize and say thanks to our man, Daddy James Barbecue. I got my Daddy James barbecue sauce in, and it has the information on the back of it, if you can see it, for Chief Joe Baldwin. So thank you for the sauce. I've tasted it. It's delicious. If you guys haven't seen our episode with Daddy James Barbecue, you need to go get his sauce because it is delicious. And with that, I guess, come on back up, Ty. Let's, what are we going to do?
Yeah, man. I want to be sure and give a shout out to last week's guest, Jason Redmond. Came on, gave a lot of good stories related to a lot of good stories about resiliency and a lot of good stuff we were talking about. Be sure and check out his book, The Trident and Overcome and Mission Invincible Marriage. And wanted to make sure that I talked about on the 15th of September, it's the 4th annual Project Zero Memorial Golf Scramble. If you're not doing anything, if you like to play golf, come out and support a great cause, the Project Zero 4th Annual Memorial Golf Scramble. You can check that out at contact info@projectzero.com, or you can go to projectzeroalliance.com and check that out today. All right, man.
It's time to play
this
golf.
week, we got a guy coming on the show that, first of all, happy birthday, Al. I called you earlier today. Happy birthday, Al. Appreciate you turning another year older and not coming on the show. So we'll celebrate your birthday next week, brother. But this week we're going to have actually someone that I served with. So we got people popping up in the green room that I served with. We've got a gentleman coming on that I served with. So without further ado, let's bring him on. Robert ROEMMELE. He was a 25 uniform in the Army, deployed with me in 2007, 2009. He was a integral part of the team. We took a lot of people over to Iraq in 07, 09. It was a 15-month deployment with the 716th MP Battalion. So let's bring him on, Robert ROEMMELE. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Welcome. Man, where do you live? It's sunny as hell there.
Las Vegas now. And
there you go. I might look you up in November. I'm coming to Las Vegas to see what Sin's all about. Or, I mean, for a work trip. I'm going to see what training's all about, for real.
Yes, plenty of training here.
Maybe. I'm hoping it's a Kim Jong night. You know what I mean? It'd be a good time. Be flying parachutes through the streets, yelling. It's going to be good. But, Rob, thank you for coming on. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you know Ty pretty good?
Yeah, I think I did. We spent a good time together, a good 15 months there in Iraq, and then, before that with 716th. Yeah.
Did you see how slowly he was like, yeah, we know each other. It's going to be a good time. So without further ado, Ty, let's go.
Yeah, man. So normally Matt handles it, but since you deployed with me, the way we always like to get started is we like to know where you came from. So where'd you grow up? What was life like when you was growing up, and then what kind of led you into joining the military?
Oh man. Well, I was born in Jersey, and I spent most of the beginning of my life in Pennsylvania and Jersey. Came from kind of humble beginnings. Didn't really have college under my belt. I was not a great kid in school. Got in trouble a lot. Um, Ended up dropping out early and not really knowing what to do with my life. And I met a guy that was actually in the Air Force. Recommended military. So I thought, why not? Let me give it a shot. Went and joined National Guard. Stayed there for about a year and a half. Felt like I was spinning my wheels. Said, if I'm going to do this, let me go all the way. And went active. And that was, maybe a year or a year and a half after 9/11 happened. Everybody said I was crazy, but I didn't really have a whole lot of better options. So it seemed like a good plan, and it turns out it was, right?
So I got a quick question for you. So you joined a little after 9/11. Let's back up a little bit. What kind of things were you into as a kid? You obviously dropped out, so you were probably a thinker and like to tinker with your hands and get dirty. School was probably boring for you, if I was to guess. But what kind of things were you into? What kind of things did you do to pass time? And answer that first, and then I got a follow-up question for you.
Yeah. So I was always into computers and like you said, tinkering, taking things apart, putting them together. I did a lot of cheating in games, making hacks, stuff like that. I got a little bit into software engineering, designing websites back before it was a big job. You didn't get paid a whole lot for it back then. A lot of that translated in the Army, but yeah, that was my hobby back then. Yeah.
Nice. So where were you when 9/11 happened? And tell us about like getting up, watching it, and what was going through your mind as soon as you saw what happened on that fateful day.
I was working for a Chevy dealership in Jersey, selling cars. It was a pretty short gig, but I was at work and we saw it pop up on a TV. And I remember it was just everything stopped. Everybody stopped. We saw the footage of, they kept replaying the footage of the first plane hitting, and we were watching it live when that second plane smashed. And I was only maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour drive from where it happened.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, how close you were.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you being that? So I was on deployment. I think, Ty was on deployment when that happened. What was being that close? What was it like in that area, seeing what was going on? I'm sure there was a lot of people where you lived that had people in the city. Like, what was it like in that moment for you guys there in your town?
I mean, everybody knew somebody, right? That may or may not have been involved. So, everybody's hopping on phones. Everybody cut out of work early to go check on family, friends, stuff like that. It was surreal. It's not like anything I've ever experienced before. Still remember it to this day. Yeah.
Ty?
Right. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you had more. So yeah, I was in Kosovo when 9/11 happened. So your 9/11 happens. What sense of urgency, like, did you know you were going to war at that point? Like, you knew you were going to join the military and you were going to war. What went through your brain as far as get my ass up and join the military?
Not yet. Then it wasn't even a thought in my mind yet. I hadn't had that conversation with that buddy of mine that had come back from deployment yet. He came back and talked to me about the opportunities that he had, the free education, the bonuses they were paying. And to me at that time, this guy that was hopping from job to job, not knowing what I was doing with my life, it sounded like a good plan. I didn't really, I knew we went to war, and I knew it was a good time to join because of that. Yeah, But when 9/11 happened, I wasn't thinking of any of this. It was after the fact.
That's one way to put it. If you're going to do it, there's no better time to do it than when we're at war and you know you're going. That's
right. Yeah.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. So where did you do basic training?
Fort Jackson, Relaxing Jackson. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. And then AIT.
Gordon, of course. Yeah, Fort Gordon.
So what was Fort Gordon like for you? What year were you through there at AIT, and what was Fort Gordon like for you in becoming a signal soldier?
I think it was 2004. Pretty sure it was 2004. Late 2004. And Fort Gordon, was night and day from basic training to Jackson. It kind of I knew nothing about what I was getting into. The only family I ever had in the military was my grandfather, and he served in the Korean War, kind of not voluntarily, right? So I didn't have a lot of family or friends to tell me what I was getting into. Gordon was kind of back and forth between strict environment I wasn't used to and partying all the time. People at Gordon were crazy. We got into a lot of trouble there too, I think.
They still are.
Yeah. What kind of trouble did you get into at Gordon?
Combo guys are constantly out there. There's a lot of strip clubs and things like that in Augusta. So everybody's always out there having hotel parties, getting wild. Augusta's, yeah.
Let me tell you how much of a prude I am. I mean, I went 17 weeks or 22 weeks or however long our AIT was back in the late 1900s. And then I was there for 2 other NCOS schools, and I may have went off post like 3 times. So like I went to Club 3 Stacks that was out there as a hip hop club out there. And then I went and played golf a couple times, but like people talk to me about all these stories all the time. I just don't have that same recollection of Fort Gordon. I just stayed on post, and me, I'm a prepper. So
yeah. Well, part of me wishes I did, but part of me's glad I didn't. It's
all you guys talk about, I always hear about the tattoo parlors. Everybody comes out of AIT with a bunch of fucking tattoos, and
yeah.
So talk to me about like you're getting ready to finish AIT. You're going to Fort Campbell. You may or may not know a little bit about the history, but that the military as a whole has ramped up deployments in 2004, 2005, essentially becomes like a big surge in Iraq and Afghanistan. So what's going through your brain when you get orders to Fort Campbell, Kentucky?
I immediately knew I was going to deploy, going to Fort Campbell. Like I read up on it, the unit that was there, because obviously I knew nothing about it beforehand. And I immediately knew when I get there within the first year of deploying. And I don't know, I was at peace with it. I was okay with it. It was the path I needed forward, right? Even if it was, a scary experience, and it is, right? No matter who you are, it's a scary experience, especially your first time. But it's what I needed. So, yeah, I just was kind of at peace.
And what do you mean by what you needed? Can you explain that a little bit deeper? Like what was going through and what made you feel that's what you needed?
Yeah, like I said, I was not a great kid. I got in trouble all the time. I did not have a path forward. It's what I needed to set my life on a good path and do something right. Yeah. And it worked. Obviously I'm where I'm at now. I'm successful in my life now. So, the Army, I credit the Army more than anything with where I am in my life now. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing just because of Kevin Cash.
Kevin Cash.
Yeah, I see it.
Hey,
Kevin Cash.
He's back.
Okay,
he's back.
To say you stayed in to masturbate. I don't know the context. I don't know what I said earlier, but yes.
No, Kevin, you said you never left post. You went and played golf twice, and you went to a hip hop club once. You know me, I'm a prepper.
And I was married with 6 kids, and I didn't want no more. So that's why I stayed.
So that's why you stayed in to masturbate.
Exactly.
That's what Kevin's saying. Good job, Kevin. Exactly. You're like a detective, dude. Good job.
Man, he knows me so well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forget where I was.
So you're at Fort Campbell. You're there for a little while. Checking in. What was it like going to your unit at Fort Campbell? What was your first impression? And like, how was all that coming in the door there? Because as much as we've talked to people on on this podcast and been with Ty for a long time, Fort Campbell is like where the fuck it's at, basically. If you went to Fort Campbell, you were in the joint, dude. You might as well have been in jail. You got a jail body. You've been living by those rules. You've been in the streets. So for you going there, what was it like?
Like I said, like I went in not knowing what to expect. And it was a time, I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, I'm wearing the 101st hat you see there, despite the other places I've been, because it's the one that sticks in my mind the most. Like you said, it's the joint. There are hard times there. There's a lot of craziness, but I don't know. You really build relationships there. I don't know. You come together, embrace the suck. Is that the term?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is definitely the term. 100%.
I think our barracks got cleaned out like 3 times for asbestos while we were there living in them.
Sounds like Fort Gordon.
Yeah.
So you were used
Fort
to
Gordon.
it already.
I was talking Campbell. My bad.
No, I know. I'm saying sounds like Fort Gordon. So you were used to it already. You were good to go.
Yeah.
You're like, this is normal, guys. I don't know.
What's up, Aaron? I appreciate you watching. Yep, he says he remembers you, Rob, from the 07-09 trip.
Hey, yeah, I remember. Yeah,
absolutely. Appreciate you watching, bro.
Dang, look at that. Al must be scared and masturbating. Kevin, I think you're right. Maybe you should FaceTime him. He'll probably show you. Probably.
Yeah. Building 6730. Bob Mayer was the sheriff of 6730 for a bunch of years, so he knows all about that place. You were in that building, Rob?
I remember that building number. I wouldn't have pulled it from my head like Bob did there, but I remember
that building is in the lexicon of most of the people that served in the 101st MP Company. Yeah, and he was the RNU there, so yeah. So anyway, so you get to Fort Campbell and you come to the 716th. What was it like reporting to the 716th specifically? And then where were you assigned when you first got to 716th?
So I was assigned to battalion 716th combo shop. And forgive me, I don't remember a whole lot of names early on, but there was obviously some changes around in leadership. I think Fight was actually our boss for a little while in transition there before you came in. I think that's how it worked. We had another NCO before Ty came in, and I don't know a whole lot about what went down there, but I know things were a little disorganized when I first got there. Yeah.
Berto was in charge.
Oh yeah, for a little while. We had no NCO.
They were desperate.
And he was a specialist at the time too.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah.
They were desperate. Whoo.
Yeah.
Just had to fill the gap until Ty got there. That's what it was.
Yeah, he did a good job. I got to give him credit. He did a good job.
Yeah, everybody got to hang out, talk about their feelings. Everybody got, you know what I mean? It was a good time.
I think he became a clinical social worker because of that year there, that 15 months in Iraq. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, you get there, I end up getting assigned to you and you realize we're going to deploy. So what was it like for what I was, I guess it was my 3rd or 4th deployment. I was a pretty intense individual. What was it like for you being a city kid for the most part from New Jersey? I don't know if you're kind of a country kid from New Jersey, but to me, you're like a city kid from New Jersey and very young guy going to Fort Campbell, getting ready to deploy with a rather large group of individuals we had. What was that like for you? Getting ready, kind of walk us through what that was like for you during your era of being a signal guy.
So I remember when you first came in, like I said, I was brand new to the Army and what it entails. And I didn't really have an NCO because I did National Guard first, right? And then jumped right into active duty, sent me right to Campbell. We had that weird shuffle of leadership. I didn't really have an NCO in charge of me outside of basic drill sergeants, stuff like that, until you came along. And it was kind of a shock to my system. I wasn't expecting, you came in pretty hard, like you said, off of deployments. And I remember thinking, like, who is this guy talking? Why is he talking to me like that? Because I wasn't used to that.
How was I talking to you?
It's hard to describe now. Like at the time, it was like, man, he's coming at me so hard. He's not listening to what I have to say. He's just spouting orders at me. And, it's obviously you've been in the Army a little while. You get a feel for that. That's the way the Army works, right? But I had no experience in that yet. So to me, it was like, man,
it's okay to do impressions. It's actually encouraged.
I can't even do an impression. He's just, he came in hard and fast, ready to get things done. And I was still used to being able to say, no, I want to do it my way. And he shut that down pretty quick to my benefit, I'll say. But yeah, I think we butted heads a little while for like the first month there.
Oh, I don't remember ever butting heads with you.
Well, it's not that we butted heads. I think it was more I butted my head against the wall.
Oh, maybe. But
that was him leaving work every day going, fuck this guy, dude. Who brought him
like that for a little while. It was.
Yeah. I do remember being like, this dude is such a pain in the ass, but I just remember you being a smart ass. And that's why I liked you, is because you were such
I was a smart ass.
Yeah, that's why I liked you at the beginning, is because you were such a smart ass. So
yeah.
Do an impression of some of the smart ass shit you used to say when you did 85% of the work.
Well, I did 85% of the work, right? No. Man, I would just get fed up sometimes with like some of the computer issues that would pop up over and over and over again. And like I said, I like being able to touch radios and stuff like that. But because I was good with computers, obviously it was a good place for me to jump in. And I felt like I took on a lot of those. So, there were times I'd get frustrated and be like, I do 85% of the work around here,
It's funny. We had by this point, like we have actually someone that's in the green room that's we might bring him out if he turns his camera on. I don't know if he's going to put his camera on or not, but we used to track all the work orders, and lo and behold, we had thousands and thousands of work orders. And lo and behold, ROEMMELE did most of the automation side of the work orders. Now he was a uniform, but he didn't do 85% of the uniform work. You did like probably 95% of the Bravo work, you and Berto and all that. But yeah, I digress. I'm just joking about the 85%. Go ahead. I appreciate.
Yeah, no. It was. I was a busy guy. I was in high demand.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, high demand. There we go. It's starting to come out. You see it?
Yeah.
He's that guy that went, you guys are so lucky that I love the Army. Otherwise, we'd be fucked. Because if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't go.
I'm gonna tell you what. Yeah? If it wasn't for me and fight, to some degree, to be there to keep those computers running, I don't know what they would have done. I don't know.
Berto taught me everything I knew about automations early on, and then I had another guy named Captain Bullock that taught me a lot about computer dynamics and signal flow specifically. I'm sure he'll talk about that if we get him on here. It's okay. But talk about maybe the team that we had. Like, talk about some of the people that were on the team and then the prep for the team. And I'm hoping you'll tell some of the funny stories. If not, I'll just start telling them. But like some of the prep and like how your generation got ready to go to war. Talk about some of that if you don't mind. You know what I'm trying to get at, right?
How we got ready to go to war? You talking about the training ahead of time? Yeah,
the training we had, but like some of y'all's ways that you had of getting ready, like you and Cody, and just the different generational ways of letting off steam. And anyway, go ahead.
Oh man. Well, yeah. So the team, we had Cody, McQuay, Pillow, Fight, Johnson. I'm not leaving anybody out here, am I?
You're doing pretty good so far. I
don't
know.
They'll be all right. That means they weren't that memorable. It's cool.
Yeah, obviously Daniels and Sergeant G were there. Bangos. Right. Yep. And then Cobb. Yeah, that was the whole team. Signal.
Do you remember our EWOs?
Yeah, I don't remember names, but I do remember. I remember both of them. Yeah, they're both characters. Got along with them well. Yeah. As far as how we got ready.
Yeah, so specifically you as a signal soldier getting ready for deploying with the military police mission, what was that like getting ready to deploy?
it wasn't as bad as I expected, honestly. There was a lot of training leading up to it. There was some combatives training that took a bad turn for me. Busted my ankle, ended up in a moon boot and a cast for a little while. But the Army's paying me now, or the VA's paying me now.
All right,
for that.
you have to tell that story.
Complain.
You can't be like, I busted my leg and now I'm getting paid. We got to hear the story. What happened?
We were doing combatives training. I had live toes. I thought I was pretty good. Got a little full of myself. Charged forward, and Tony Balsamo. I don't know if you've had him on here ever, but he came in just as hard, pushed me down, and snapped the ankle. I didn't know it snapped at the time. I just knew it was flopping around. I tried to keep going for a little while. It just kept flopping. I said, "No, we got to stop." So I tapped, and nobody believed me. I said, "It's broken. Like I can't. It's flopping. It's broken." Nobody believed me. Got some not a crutches. I got something to help me walk. I don't remember what it was.
Motrin.
Medic. I think it was Powell. Powell was our medic at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She
took me over to the sick call there. And I remember I was kind of limping on it, going in there like, "Oh no, you're fine. You're walking on it. Look." They took the X-ray. They came back and said, "Oh, never mind. You're not fine. Stop walking." Broke the bone, the outside one. I forget what it's called. The thin outside one connected to the outside of your ankle there, and tore and ripped just about every ligament that was in the ankle. Ended up having to get a bolt, like 6 screws, and a metal plate down on my ankle there. That was a lead up to deployment. That was part of the training.
This is like 8 months before deployment, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I recovered enough.
He's still going with us. At no time was there like, "Am I not going, Sergeant?" No, you're going. So rehab.
They have doctors over there. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doc Powell always listens. We appreciate you listening too, Doc Powell.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. I guess now would be a good time to we deploy. I guess we deploy. What was deploying like with the 716th? What are some milestones you remember maybe along the way? I'm just trying to get, I've deployed so many times that so many things kind of become a blur. So I'm wondering what it was like for you. What do you remember, like some of the stays, some of the stops before we deploy? We get to Germany, maybe you're R&R. What's some of the best memories you had about that deployment?
I don't know about best memories, but the first memory that pops in mind is I had gotten an Article 15 right before deploying.
Okay, got to hear that story too. Tell it.
Let's go back. Hold on.
Yeah.
What did you
Bro,
get?
Well, hold on real quick. There's a lot of cool shit in between what you did, and if it deals with Article 15 or broken bones, you have to tell the story. 100%.
So they're not related. Article 15 was just,
Okay.
I was still in my, not quite right phase. I was going out partying a lot, not sleeping. So, I missed a bunch of formations. It's not nothing crazy. Just missed a bunch of formations. Enough times that it got me in trouble. Leading up to deployment, that kind of happened. And I guess that was, how I got ready for a deployment. That's how I got ready. I partied a lot. I drank a lot. They had like
there's the answer.
What was it? Tippers, I think.
Tippers.
It was penny beers.
Yeah,
that was stupid. They never should have done that.
Yeah, there was a lot of things.
I took full advantage.
Yeah.
And I got an Article 15, so I went and served.
Was I your NCO when you got that?
What's that?
Was I your NCO when you got that?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I barely remember getting the Article 15. I just remember when we got to Kuwait. When we got to Kuwait, that's where I served the extra duty. And I remember being out there, we're supposed to be acclimatizing. And it was cold. It wasn't supposed to be cold. I'm in a desert. Wasn't used to that. It was cold, really cold. But my extra duty was going around picking up cigarette butts in Kuwait.
Picking up cigarette butts.
And I got so sick. I got they called it the Kuwaiti crud.
Yeah.
I was there.
First Sergeant Quentin Smith.
What's that?
You gotta
First Sergeant Quentin Smith.
Yeah.
You gotta find things to do. Gotta make it up.
Yeah, picking up cigarette butts. That's what I did. Yeah.
Wow.
But I only had to do like 3 days of it because I got so sick I couldn't do anymore.
goodness.
it was all right. Yeah.
All right. So first deployment, get into Iraq, and what was your mission once you got to Iraq? What were you supposed to be doing?
Yeah, supporting battalion in all things combo and automations, right? That's what our shop did. So for me, that ended up being a lot of, my computer's broke. What do I do? Re-imaging computers, taking care of issues like that. There was also the occasional, common work, changing out configuration, the hardware in the vehicles, the radios in the vehicles, stuff like that. Loading ComSec occasionally. I think Pillow did most of that stuff though. There was only a few occasions where I had to hop out and do that. Pillow and McQuay, I think, handled that for the most part.
Right. What is this picture right here?
Well, speaking of loading ComSec, that was up on I don't remember the name of the hill.
You look like you're trying to get
Combo
away.
Hill?
Yeah.
Was it just? I don't remember. Yeah, I look so much different.
At the top of one of the Como Hills with your should be changing ComSec and a retrans.
So it's like there's like a relay station up there for our
retrans.
Military. Yeah. For our non-military people,
to
relay the signal out. It's up on a hill,
exactly.
so it's got high altitude there. And we had to go up there every so often and change out the encryption in these radios. They were supposed to be, I think it was a local national that was hired to kind of sit in that stall with the key and let us in, but they were never there.
Right.
And the other guys would usually, I guess, wait. I had no patience for it. Like I wanted to get out of there, and I think I was trying to get back to. We had the karaoke set up. We'll get into that another time, I guess. But I wanted to get back there and do the karaoke, so I just hopped the fence.
Absolutely,
changed it out.
So is that what 15-month deployments with Ty was like? Changing ComSec and doing karaoke. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. No.
and
we did a lot of other fun stuff. We painted the office orange. That was a good. I painted the office orange. It's me.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't have shit else to do. Go paint that shit orange. Okay.
Yeah.
Safety,
orange,
pumpkin. Safety.
Signal. They were not good guys.
It looked really good though. I got to say, I think it turned out all right.
I don't know if it looked good. It looked like something. I mean, it was.
It looked insane.
Yeah, it was. It's pretty crazy, but.
No, there was, we all went out to the MP stations every now and then too. So there was some of that. Not a whole lot for me. I think maybe like 10 times or so, maybe 10, 15 times total. I don't remember exactly. It wasn't that often. And we'd go out there and do checks with them. And I'd look at their computers too, because why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we would get tasked with, hey, Ty, you're going out to, so-and-so local police station. Can you check out their computers? I'm like, yeah, I'll check on them. But, everything's in Dari or Pashto. I don't really read, I don't know how to look at Internet Explorer. But, yeah, I'll try to fix their stuff. And half the time we'd go out there and they'd be like, oh, yeah, you fixed it. Thanks, Ty. Or, But.
I remember one time in particular, they asked me to check on a satellite.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like,
okay. Again, one more time. Satellite. Where was it? What was it for? Who asked you to do it?
It was at an MP station. Right? Yeah. It was at one of these MP stations, the Iraqi police stations. Outside the wire, and they want me to climb up this ladder or go up on the roof and check on a satellite. And like, first of all, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Not every satellite's the same satellites we worked with. So I have no idea what I'm looking at there. But second of all, like that's my first, that in particular, I think was my first time outside of the wire too. So I'm out here in unfamiliar territory in a war zone. And they're like, yeah, go climb on the roof and check the satellite.
Yeah, just like that. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
good area.
Right? You
area.
got a Kevlar vest.
No worry.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I think what everybody has said that has served with me or deployed with me, like Berto tells a story that I just sent him to Herat. Just hey, go find the tallest building, and that's where you'll find the ComSec guy. And he ended up being successful. He figured the mission out, and that's something I remember about all you knockaround guys is that I would tell you. what I needed to be done, but I don't remember micromanaging. I remember being, a
No.
rage monster, but I do remember telling you, get this done. And y'all did things 100 different ways. So talk about some of those relationships that you had with some of the other guys, and maybe some of the, like who was your roommate? Who was your roommate during that 15-month deployment?
Cody Brandon. Yeah. He was my roommate leading up to the deployment a little bit too. He came and stayed with me. But,
okay.
Yeah.
How was it living with Cody for 15 months?
Oh, Cody was always a trip. So at the time, I think his big thing was World of Warcraft.
Right.
I remember he was always talking about how his guild needed to him. He had to get on the raid. And then we ended up having like a local World of Warcraft server out there too. That a lot of I think even Sergeant Major Woodring hopped on there and played. A lot of people hopped on and played. It was kind of funny. Cody was really in his element there. Got me into it too. He was a good roommate though. We had a good time.
I always remember, we joked with Cody, he was always kind of the butt of our jokes when we were all together. But a lot of my memories, are about Cody and the things he did, because that story, when we were getting ready, this is the story I was hoping you would tell. Like, I remember being like hard charging, like I'd come in, we'd do fucking PT, and I'd have y'all like jumping on the floor, jumping on the ground, rolling around, jumping up, running, ruck marching, and these brand new guys are all looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then, we get to Iraq, and Captain Bullock, who's our SIGO, he's like, okay, hey, we're going to work our ass off for the first 60 days. And we're going to be the absolute best there was. Everything's going to be working. And then these guys are going to take over. And I was like, okay, I was used to doing everything myself. So that was the first deployment in 2007 where, the first 60 days I worked my ass off to make sure that Captain Bullock's intent got met. And then after the first 60 days, these guys did everything. Like that deployment, I had a band. Like I had a band with the fucking XO, Philip Lynn, who was on here.
I remember that.
We had a band called Staph Infection. So talk about, or tell me if you remember this story. We're getting ready for deployment, and Brandon comes to me. He's like, hey, Sergeant Cobb, you mind if I get off early? And I'm like, what do you mean? What you need to get off early? He's like, well, we got a raid. I'm like, a raid? What are we talking about? What kind of raid? Y'all going to get some ass or something? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, young man? He's like, no, I'm a healer. My people need me. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You're a healer. And he's like, I play World of Warcraft. So I was like, fuck it. We're all getting off. So we go and we watch, I think all of us get off and we go watch this raid. And it turns out he's like a level 89 healer, shadow priest or something. And I have no idea what the fuck this game is or where it comes from or what online gaming really is at this point. And then we get to Iraq in 2007 and then we run the internet cafe. And so y'all had great times running that thing, right?
Oh, that thing never worked. It was constantly. Oh, it was such a frustration. I remember trying to get a bunch of guys together to buy one of the satellites so we could get better internet out there. But
you should have
running the internet
satellite you looked at on the building that first time out of the wire. You should be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go test this to make sure it's working well, and you should put it on your building. Problem solved.
We did end up getting that satellite working, by the way.
There you go.
To Ty's point there, he said, get it done. We got it done. So,
yeah.
So if you wouldn't have got it done, what would have been the first thing that happened when you got back and said we couldn't get it working?
Oh, good Lord.
Oh man. I don't even know. Probably would have went back again to do it again until it was working.
But what was the conversation
wasn't really an acceptable outcome of like, you got to make it work one way or the other.
Dang.
Yeah.
You guys are like a TV show. We're not going back unless this shit's working,
Yeah. I remember there was some vehicle that Ty, you wanted me to put a new radio mount in or something. And I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue where am I supposed to drill holes? What am I supposed to do? There's no field manual for that. I didn't know what I was doing. And he said, I don't care, get it done. So I remember getting so mad about that one. I stayed out there for hours, but God, damn, if I didn't get it done. Yeah, we got the combo in there.
How'd you end up getting it done though? What'd you end up doing to get it done?
I just drilled holes where I thought I wouldn't break something. Ran the wires. Yeah, I figured it out. I winged it. But it worked. It stayed in there.
Away from that
never
job
broke down.
You walked away from that one going good enough for government work.
Yeah.
That's so strange. The memories that, and like, I guess the memories and the memories of the conversations I remember having with all you guys during that deployment is much different probably than you guys remember, because I remember, like, I'm a huge planner, and at this point I knew everything we were going to be doing because I had deployed with MPs for a bunch of time. So we know that we're going to have a big project because the SIGO is always going to want to make something better. So we had that big fiber project right at the very beginning, and I remember y'all handling that very well. So what I remember about all you guys is having a huge resiliency with, one, being, tasked, two, having the personalities that I knew that you had around you, because I knew how I was, and then I knew who your first sergeant was, First Sergeant Quentin Smith. I knew who your Sergeant Major was, Sergeant Major Rich Woodring. Captain Bullock was one of the best, if not, the best signal officer that I ever had. I don't know what y'all thought, but he was, as far as planning goes, maybe not the tactical side of the radios, but as far as the planning goes for all signal flow and operations, best we ever had. So that whole team was kind of like, to me, like an all-star team, because it was brought together because of the 15-monther, and then we got 2 or 3 new guys. Like, you guys were new, so I was just wondering what it was like. Oh, the Freedom for Our Fallen, it's Daniels. What's up, Daniels?
Hey, Daniels.
So so I was just wondering what it was like with you guys, because like I've always said to Daniels was a combat arms guys, and he had deployed before. So what was it like for you guys, like you and Brandon and maybe Johnson, to be around a bunch of guys like us that had deployed a bunch?
I'll tell you what, it's easier to talk about it in hindsight, because like when I was initially there, what it was like was, it was overwhelming. It's like, these guys are, they're crazy. They're coming down so hard. I don't understand. Right. But like in hindsight, moving on to other units, and especially once I left Campbell, man, did I miss it, because we got stuff done. We really did. And as much crap as we gave each other, and as much as we butted heads all the time, the people on the team, but it was mostly in fun. We ribbed on each other, we motivated each other, and we got stuff done. I never had that again after leaving Campbell. That's why this is the hat. It's the one hat I wear around all the time. It's the one place that really sticks in my memory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes me feel good. I mean, it's the same way for me. I joke that Berto became a licensed clinical social worker because of those deployments and those times there. But it does go to show you that we went through a lot of stuff together, and it was a different time in my career than it was for you guys. So to me, to you say, in hindsight, you kind of missed that. To me, I wonder what people are going to say about me sometimes when I invite them on the show, because I realize how intense I used to be, and how I used to come off versus, like, even now I'm still pretty intense. Like, I'm still fairly intense, but even now I'm nothing like what I was before. So I was worried that, people like Cody, like, I was hard on Cody, I was hard on Johnson, and I was hard on you as well, but I don't think I was as hard on you as maybe Daniels. I know I was hard on Daniels, but all you guys I was hard on, because that was a rough deployment. We had a lot of different stuff going on. So Bob says I'm a pussycat, but I'm only a pussycat for you, CIA Bob. But yeah, big teddy bear for sure. But so anyway, wax poetic about that. What was that like for you?
Like you said, you were definitely hard on us. But also, like I said, in hindsight, and especially with me in particular, with my past and the reasons I was joining the military, it's what I needed. Um, Ultimately, I think it's again something I credit to the successes I've had in life. It set me on a good path, right? But you in particular, with you being hard on us, you inspired us to get things done. And then we had Command Sergeant Major Woodring over there. You either got it done or you got punched in the face, right? Not literally, but that's. I remember that's one of the ones you used to like to say.
We know you mean that. We know you mean that. We know.
I think he might have. I think there he is. I think he might have. If you really push him.
Look, he's still into it, dude. He threw the knife hand during the middle of a podcast, and we just screenshotted it. You know what I mean? He's ready to
go. But no, like you said, unforgettable leadership team. It really was the dream team. And as a new guy there, I didn't realize it till after I left it. But yeah, we had a great team there.
That's good to hear, bro. That's really good to hear. Well, you're about ready to do the hot seat, Matt, and then after we do the hot seat, we'll talk about what Rob's doing now, and probably get some people to pop in that want to pop in. All of you guys that I've sent links to, if you want to pop in now after the hot seat here, go ahead and pop in. But for now, we're going to do something called the hot seat. So the hot seat, Rob, is where we like to ask a few questions. Some of them be kind of benign, some of them be a little bit insightful, but just see how you tick a little bit more. All right, Rob, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh man, it's tough. Maybe Pulp Fiction. That's the first one that pops in my head. Just a cult classic.
That's interesting that you say that. Go ahead. I thought I had it on me already. I thought you were going to
say. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. That's one for me. All right. If you had a 1 hour conversation with one person in history, who would it be and what would the conversation be about?
Nikola Tesla. And about his inventions and maybe whatever crazy stuff we don't know about, right? I feel like that guy had a lot more to offer the world.
Oh, yeah. I think if the world knew some of his secrets, we'd be much further advanced.
Yeah.
All right. What's the most unique place on Earth you've ever visited?
Most unique? It's a tie between Zion National Park in Utah. It's like another world. It's like Jurassic Park. It's crazy. Or when I was in Korea, in the middle of Seoul City, there's like a zoo up the top of a mountain. And that's kind of surreal too, because you're in the middle of a city, but there's this big jungle-like zoo place. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Not too crazy.
That's cool. What advice would you give your 12-year-old self if you could talk to your 12-year-old self?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Maybe party a little bit less, get started a little bit earlier, save some money. And think better of yourself and what you can achieve, so you're not stuck waiting to get stuff done. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Rob, when did life's biggest breakthrough happen for you?
It was the Army, hands down. Specifically, the time I spent at Fort Campbell was what I really needed to set myself on the path to where I am now. Yeah, hands down, that's it.
Is that just for like motivation, or is that for like overall purpose?
Both. Overall purpose and motivation. A lot of my time before that, when I say I didn't have purpose, it's because I didn't believe I could do anything but maybe be a manager at Arby's, right? Like, I didn't believe I could achieve more, that I could go beyond what my family had done. And the Army really gave me the drive to do that, and I guess showed me that I had the willpower to get through something that otherwise I never would have done. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, personal courage, man. Like Yeah, absolutely. Realizing that you can do more with yourself, that you've learned a trade, that you are courageous enough. Hell yeah. That's one of the best answers we've had. Thanks for that, Rob. Appreciate that. All right. What is your go-to karaoke song?
It's a lot of them, but I think a lot of the Nirvana songs I used to do just because, I was a smoker for so many years. I had the raspy voice thing going on. I felt like they were good. Anything Nirvana. Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going to say I think it's the Clint Eastwood song.
Oh, the Gorillas.
Yeah, the Gorillas.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's what you always did over at Ring's Place.
Yeah, I did do that one a lot. Yeah.
All right, bro. Here's a big one. What does it mean to be a knockaround guy?
Get it done. To get stuff done. More than anything, you take the bad, you roll with it, and you get the job done.
Good answer. I appreciate that one. All right, here's a big one too. Who's the greatest of all time, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Oh, Michael Jackson. Prince has got some greats, but Michael Jackson's on a whole other level, right? We'll never have another Michael Jackson.
You knock me off of my feet now, baby. Papa's got a brand new bag.
Prince is winning. Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, I was just looking at the tally here. It is now 30-37. Prince is winning, but Michael Jackson is making a comeback. It's going back and forth. Prince had a big lead, but Michael Jackson's made a comeback lately. But Michael Jackson, you can't go wrong. Michael Jackson with the win today.
I mean, Prince had some good ones.
Oh,
but
for
Michael
sure.
Jackson had all good ones. You know what I mean?
Since he was a kid, I can't argue with the Michael Jackson answer. But and me, who do you think I go?
Oh, you might go Prince. Yeah, you might go Prince.
Yeah. I'm a Prince guy just because played all the instruments. I like him better. But anyway, all right. So last question: what can we do to get better as a podcast?
Oh, I don't know. Just have more great guests. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. You brought me on. That's a start.
That's okay. Good. Nice.
Yeah,
okay. Well, you've graduated from the Triple Threat Vet hot seat. Appreciate you very much, brother.
So one more question. You're an IT guy, right? And so you like anything electronics and computers running around, iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Why?
Because it works. You don't have to. Everything. Everything's designed with user experience in mind. You don't have to fiddle through documentation and figure stuff out. It just works. Nice. iPhone slogan is a good one because it's true.
All right. Good.
That's how you really feel, Rob.
Hell yeah, dude. So for all you Android users, y'all busted. Just saying. Go spend the money and get the one that works, right? You need a blue bubble, not a green bubble.
Yeah. My Tomahawk's still there, CIA Bob, of course.
No, not yours. Someone else's.
Oh, what?
Look at the comment above.
It's still sitting here. Woodring's on my shit list. What's Woodring on your shit list for, CIA Bob? What's happening? Spill the tea, baby.
He's on your shit list for wood rings. What's he got wood rings for?
Anyway, hey, so I see you in the green room. Can you turn your camera on, or are you not turning your camera on? Let me text you real quick. I want to see if you're gonna turn your camera on. Sorry, Rob. It's just like me to it's just like the S6 guy to fuck up and produce a show while we're doing the show. My bad.
Oh man, it's the story of my life.
All right. So
hurry up and wait.
While we're waiting. So let's talk about what you did to transition out of the post service. And Matt, if you don't mind, I'm going to pop down for a second. I need to help someone. Let's do the transition.
You got it.
Let's do how you transitioned out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like Ty said just now, everybody that we talk to, a lot of people on here, Rob, and we like to talk about transition because everybody's is different. And so knowing that, what we like to figure out is what was it like for you as you started that transition process, and then once you got out, how was it for you? Like, kind of go into a little bit of detail on that process specifically for you.
Yeah, I can tell you right out of the gate, I was very fortunate to go through a warrior transition unit. So when I was my last duty station was Korea. I spent almost 2 years there. And while I was out there, I had a lot of stuff, not the least of which was that ankle and all that hardware in there that just wasn't keeping up with me anymore. I got in it. I started at 22 years old, so I started a little bit later than a lot of guys. And between age and my body being beaten up and the surgeries I had, it was just catching up with me. So I went through the med board process right about my 8-year mark. And I was fortunate enough to go through a warrior transition unit in Fort Eustis. They took care of me for the better part of, I think, 6 months I spent there. Given a whole lot of, training, helping you build resumes, helping you transition back into that civilian life. But, also I was fortunate that, I came in at 22. So I had some life experience with, what civilian life was going to be like. And I feel like I transitioned pretty well. I jumped on what I knew. I jumped on IT, specifically software engineering. Worked a lot at that. Started my own consulting company for a while. Did a lot of government contracting. I think, leading up to being a senior engineering manager for NBC.
Oh, wow.
So that was up until about last year. I was
most famous person you've ever met.
Most famous person I've ever met.
Well, you worked at NBC, like legit NBC, or just like a satellite TV station?
No, so I worked for the news side specifically.
Well, I mean,
doing
they're all famous
SEO,
now.
Search engine optimization, and,
nice.
like stuff like that for the websites. So I didn't actually meet any of the famous people.
Dude, we need to talk. You know how to do SEO? You're my new friend.
Yeah, we did a lot of SEO. So I did that up until, like I said, about last year.
Boy's wicked smart.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So geez, like 20, 25, 30 years of doing IT stuff now, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And I got to the point where, obviously I'm good at what I do, right? I wouldn't have got to where I did if I wasn't. But
right.
something that I didn't feel like I was doing it for a purpose. I was doing it because it made me money, and it did well at that. And I enjoy the IT stuff. But more recently, I made a transition into buying into a franchise, specifically in-home senior care, a company called Seniors Helping Seniors.
Nice.
They also doing work with veterans, specifically helping out veterans that need like non-medical in-home assistance, right? Like getting meals cooked, getting their gardening done, just taking them to appointments, even stuff like that.
Yeah. So, hey, I don't want to stop you in the middle of that. That's I want to get all into that. But what I'm going to do is I got to go take a break for a minute. I got to go grab something, but I think there's a whole bunch of people that want to say hello to you. So I'm going to let you try and the group catch up, and I'll be right back.
All right,
Matt. Appreciate you. All right. So yeah, we'll get started on that. But before we go any further, I want to introduce a few people to the stage here. So I want to bring, let's see, we'll bring this gentleman up first. This was our signal officer. This is, I think he's a full bird colonel now, but at the time he was Captain Bullock. What's going on, Bull?
Hey.
Ain't nothing, man. Sitting out here on the deck with my knucklehead son.
I hear you. So we also got from the deployment at the time, he was a specialist, but I think by the time he left, he was a staff sergeant. Mike Daniels. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
You out there doing calls?
Yeah, I'm out here riding.
I hear you.
What they do? The police or something?
I am for you.
Wow, long time no see. Well, Mike, I've seen you a little bit more recently, I guess. We've chatted off and on.
Yeah.
But Captain Bullock, I haven't seen. Well, not Captain now, I guess. Colonel Bullock, right?
Yeah, no, retired Bullock sitting on my butt doing nothing.
Oh, all right. That's the best rate right there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Living my best life. Chilling at the house. I'm like Ty now. So, Ty ain't worked in damn 10 years.
So Bull, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing, where you're at, and since you got out, what was transition like for you?
Let me see. Let me where I start. So I just retired last year. But prior to that, I was in command. Y'all heard of that program called IPSA, Integrated Personnel Pay System Army? So I was the product manager for that program. And after that program, I had enough. I was tired. I could have stuck around and made '06, got selected for Senior Service College, and I was just burnt. I didn't have any more to give to the military. I was done. So I decided to go ahead and retire and started working for a company called PCI Government Services, supporting the Department of Treasury doing acquisition stuff. We got dozed back in March. So ever since then, I've just been at the house chilling.
That's cool. So just for the audience, Captain Bullock at the time was I'd never seen anything like him. Someone that could plan like him, that knew the game, that knew the territory, that had been deployed before, that knew the tactical knowledge, and then knew how to deal with soldiers, kind of the same way that I did. And so we immediately enmeshed, and it brought out a whole different part of my career. So I don't know if I ever really told you this, sir. I may have in our years afterwards, but I appreciate that about you. You taught me something about myself that I didn't know. I was always used to doing everything myself, and you told me to get out of the way and let, G and Gallegos and all the guys, let them fly, let them carry us to greatness.
Absolutely, man. What I saw within the team is you had some guys that were very sharp. I was like, you're in their damn way. Get out the way. Let them guys run. And then you let them run as far as they can. And when you see that they're, having some hesitation or there's some blockers, us as leaders or as professionals, we get out there and we, mitigate the hesitation on the blocker. We find a way to get around them for them. But at least let them run as long as they can. So once you kind of pull back and allow the guys to, I would say, grow and do what they do best. Like, ROEMMELE was definitely our IT expert. Daniels, I think, had a death wish because he always wanted to go outside the damn wire and jump on one of them damn trucks. But, I mean, everybody had their particular skill sets and things that they did well. So, nourish it. Let them do their thing. And then if they need help and assistance, that's kind of where you and I came in. If it was something that needed to, make it up to the headquarters, or we had to go over to brigade or something like that, or a corps division, and that's when we got involved. But until then, man, let those guys do their thing. So once we were able to accomplish that rapport and trust with the team, I think things went very well.
Hell yeah. I never had, I think that's the common sentiment that all of us share. Like whether, McQuay will text out in the middle of nowhere, Pillow when a certain, anniversary or something, maybe that lost dagger or whatever pops around 118-999, some date will come around and everybody will just start talking again. And the camaraderie we had, it was unmatched. It came close to when we were the only active duty unit that I had on White Sands, but still it wasn't the same as that specific unit and that S6 shop with. It was so many people. I was never used to deploying with that many people as well. I was used to deploying with one or two people, thus me being a very do everything myself and not delegating. Corus Bullock showed me how to delegate and be a program/project manager, and that's what he was good at. Is like you were like a black belt, right? You did that Six Sigma stuff back before it was a thing?
Yeah, the thing too is I knew coming to Fort Campbell that as soon as I got there, I already had my assignment leaving there before we even got to Iraq that I would be going to the acquisition corps to, I would say hone in those skills of being a product manager for the Army. So my mind was already kind of geared towards, how to strategically do things and get maximum effectiveness out of your team. So I think that was the biggest thing is getting Ty an opportunity to pull back, bro. You know what I'm saying? You goddamn staff sergeant. Move out the way. Let the soldiers do their thing. That's one thing I learned from uh, my platoon sergeant in Korea. He was real big about, hey, look here, boy, it's a fucking marathon, not a sprint. Move out the way. Let the guys do their thing. Because I had the same concept. As far as service, I had that NCO mentality, like, oh, I got to be here with the guys. I got to get it done. And he's kind of the one that showed me. So I just passed the knowledge on the tie. Like, hey, I learned this from someone, so let me share the wealth as well, man. Pull back and get out the goddamn way. Let the guys, make us look good. And then, we rewarded them. When the guys made us look good, uh, I spent many days in there talking to Colonel Johnson and like, no, you want to take care of, the single guys. They may not be out the wire every fucking day, but without them, you won't be able to call home and talk to mama. You can't go, out to the internet cafe and beat your meat because you don't have access to the porn site without us. So, you're going to reward these guys. It's more than just, only time that they're going to be rewarded if something goes wrong. Like, no, these guys are effectively making sure when your ass is outside that sector out there in harm's way that you can communicate back and forth. Where there are certain areas, you may hit some hot spots or areas of down spots where you can't communicate. Yeah, that's going to happen. But 99% of the time, you were effectively communicating. So, no, we're going to make sure that the guys get taken care of. And that was what, Ty and I really catered to, is making sure that you guys got the credit, not us.
Yeah. Well, so that kind of brings me to the next thing. Like, we've had Nate Brookshire on the show. He's brought us a couple different guests. And so he always talks, every time I talk about him, he talks about, hey, Mike Daniels, you need Mike Daniels, and, Mike Daniels this and Mike Daniels that. And then always talking about Doc Powell. So what was it like for you, Daniels, because you were not prior service, you were a prior MOS, combat MOS. You had deployed as a route clearance guy, and then you come to a signal or to an MP unit as a signal guy. What was that transition into the Army like for you, or into the Signal Corps like for you? Oh, did we lose him? Did you hear me, Mike?
No, he
still
got
there?
somebody in the back seat. He got people in the handcuffs.
Can you hear me, Mike?
No, you good? Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you now. I'm pulling over. Hang on.
Okay, yeah, pull over real quick. I got a question to ask you.
Yeah, so that was I went to Fallujah at 20. Turned around, there was a gunner on a gun truck getting shot at all the time. And honestly, being there, man, was the best thing that happened to me. Because if I'd have kept going the route that I was going, I'd be dead. Like those guys, looking at Rommele and Brandon and all them, looking at their different mannerisms and different ways of looking at things, I think that really made me a better leader. Because as soon as I left there, I became went up to division SSI, and then turned around and became a battalion commo chief as an E5. So understanding, helped me understand. Being uncomfortable was comfortable.
Yeah, it's
Did
amazing
you hear
what
me?
we can. Yeah, I heard being uncomfortable was comfortable, and that's kind of how I was. I was wound so tight. I realized you were wound pretty tight at the beginning of that, and so I wonder what it was like for, I asked Rommele earlier in the interview what it was like for him to, just be coming off the street out of New Jersey, what it was like to be thrown in with a bunch of guys with, big ass personalities. Like, we had rest in peace, Stephen Cribben, a future SF soldier, like hardcore. We had, we have all the guys from the PSD teams that they were doing all that awesome training all the time, and then so we had some big personalities. And then what was that like coming into that? And then for you, Rob, like seeing that, like, does that stir any memories after seeing Bull and Daniels talk about it a little bit? Like,
oh, it's still the same memories that are there. Like I said, I came in completely blind to it. So for me, it was a lot of, I wasn't used to people talking to me. Like,
right.
Like you guys talk to me. I got used to it pretty quick. And like I said, it's what I needed. But no, I mean, like you said, we had a bunch of, high speed people like that I'll remember to this day. It's hard charging. I'm trying to think of it. Bullheaded, hard charging. Yeah.
Bullheaded
Yeah.
is one of them for sure. I
Yeah.
never had someone like Captain Bullock. I'd never had a personality like that
Yeah.
with me, because he's the most like me person that I've ever had. And he was the only person that could check my ego, because, he was more John Blaze than I was at that time. So, for me, it was the biggest leadership curve that I could do, because until that point, I was not used to working with a signal officer like him. I was used to working with someone that would plan something, and then I would execute everything. But when you get someone like him that's comprehensive and understands the game like I do, that just changed everything. Like when he could talk to soldiers and relate to soldiers like I could, he wasn't just some punk lieutenant, that didn't know nothing. This dude had life experience. So for me, Bull, that's the biggest thing that I loved about you and that I'll remember forever about you is, and I remember that about a lot of the guys. There's different memories that you have about each of you guys from that section. It's an imprint in memory, because it was my last deployment there, and then I changed my career trajectory. I was a different guy after that. Bull saw me a couple times. I was completely different after that. But it was a great time. So I appreciate you, Bull.
Yeah.
The first thing I told Ty when I got there, you've been here at Fort Campbell too freaking long, and you're missing the other side of the Army, and things are passing you by. I said you're stovepiping your career by being here too long. It's great that you got all these deployments, but you're going to continue to keep getting passed over for promotion, because you don't have what they call breadth and depth. You've been deep into Fort Campbell, but you don't have the variety of all the different things that the Signal Corps, or not even the Signal Corps, but the Army has to offer. I was like, you got to get out of Campbell, bro.
Absolutely. Best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing.
I don't think I had another S6 shop that got as much respect as we did too. That's another thing I remember. It's the other groups, the other shops definitely had a lot of respect for Camo there at 716th. We didn't get that anywhere else I went.
Well, I think we had a lot of people that were there for a lot of years, and G ran stuff. Everybody knew G was handling stuff. Fight was handling stuff. People are there for a lot of years, and then like I said, you get people like Bullock that come through and change the way you do things for the next 10, 12 years of your career, and the way you think about leadership. And then I remember the biggest, I don't know if are you driving again, Daniels? I don't want you to get angry at me.
Now listen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the biggest regrets I ever have is something I said to you and G. You know what I'm talking about, right?
What's that?
When I was mad at y'all for something. I was like, man, y'all are acting like some real bitches right now. I remember that being the biggest communication failure that I'd ever had, because at that point, I don't think y'all had any idea what I was going through or why I was mad. And I don't think I was communicating. And I remember seeing how disappointed you were in me. And I remember you probably seeing how disappointed I was that I just said that to you. So I that to you.
Part of the issue that I had there was I looked up to all of y'all. and y'all are all than me. Y'all are all comms. Everybody else was, doing their thing and accelerating at it. And all I knew how to do was shoot. I knew how to get out there in the truck and make things happen. I knew how to communicate, but I didn't know that side of the world. And to get there with somebody like you and Captain Bullock, and even the other guys were high speed at what they did. I wanted to be high speed at what I did. So I didn't take anything to heart. I mean, it's just the way it is. But me and you definitely bumped heads more than once because we're both combat minded.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I always appreciated that about you. You always had a certain feistiness, but you had to in that group of people. I mean, if you didn't have feistiness with Captain Bullock and myself, you probably weren't going to get a word in ever. So, but anyway,
No, but I took the leadership. I took that leadership to my next unit. The same thing that I watched y'all go through, because I did absorb a lot of it, and it worked perfectly, man. Like they straight up loved us. Same deal though.
What was the biggest thing you remember about your transition, whether it be from out of Fort Campbell to a different unit, the leadership difference, or out of the military into the civilian world for you? Which was the biggest obstacle for you?
Who you asking, Daniels?
Yeah, Daniels.
Yeah.
I think we got a bad next to Daniel.
So it was just a health thing after the army.
Say it one more time, Daniels. You said what?
I said I crushed my spine in Afghanistan. I was paralyzed on my right side for, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months. And then I broke my back, and it just got worse from there. So, like, my health was the issue.
Right. Well, hey, I want to spend more time with you guys, but I appreciate you guys jumping on real quick. Daniels, we're gonna have you on the show and talk about your whole story. Powell, like have you and Doc Powell on, like Captain Brookshire was talking about. But Captain Bullock, or excuse me, Colonel Bullock, I appreciate you very much coming on, and I'm gonna hit you up later on.
Yeah, man. Text me later, bro.
All right.
Good to see you.
It's good to see y'all.
All right, man. Y'all be safe, man. Hey, Daniel.
You too.
Hey, take them handcuffs off.
All right.
Only if she asks.
That was Mike Daniels and Corus Bullock. All right, let's bring Matt Johnson back. All right. Sorry, you're
hello.
Sorry about that, bro. We went down memory a little bit longer than expected.
Sorry about what?
Going down memory aisle. That was Mike Daniels. He was a former combat engineer that reclassified to become a signal guy and then got kind of thrown in with us. But I don't want to tell too much of his story because I think I only have him on with Doc Powell, and we'll kind of both of them tell the story. So
that's Freedom for Our Fallen.
Yeah. That's Mike Daniels. He served with us 15 months as well. So, and then Corus Bullock, best SIGO I ever had. So
nice.
But
so now, Rob, we get to get back to your current venture. So where we left off, you bought into a franchise.
Yeah.
You're gonna help a whole bunch of old ass veterans that don't remember how to do shit have home care or something like that. So walk us through. Number one, though, what makes you go from IT to that?
Yeah, good question. So I got to a point in my career where it was, what am I going to be leaving for my kids? I got kids. I got an 11-year-old Felix and a 2-year-old Elias. And I was really starting to get to that point of like, what's the legacy I'm leaving for them? And yeah, I'm great with computers. I'm great with software engineering. It's great for money. I taught my oldest. He programs. He's made his own games in Roblox. He makes money off of them. It's great stuff. But it didn't have a purpose behind it, or at least I didn't see an immediate way to make a purpose behind it. So kind of hit, I don't want to call it midlife crisis because it wasn't, it wasn't out of fear of getting old. It was more out of, just wanted to make a change to leave something for my kids.
Yeah.
The economy hit the right time that I could sell the house, make a good amount of money, and just do something else. We didn't know what that something else was going to be. So we sold the house. We hopped in the RV, my wife, my 2 kids, my 2 dogs. And we went out west where we loved the weather. We loved like Utah and Nevada and Arizona and Colorado and all that stuff. We figured we'd just drive out there, live for a little while, be around each other for a little while, figure out what our next step was going to be. I evaluated a whole bunch of different franchises, businesses that I could have bought into, thought about starting something fresh. I even thought about, maybe doing something IT related that could, maybe get into the veteran realm. But ultimately, one of the ones I ended up evaluating was this Seniors Helping Seniors, which is it's non-medical in-home senior care, right? So they differ from other ones in that they really try to match up the caregiver with the person they're giving care to, like even on a personality basis, right? This is not just somebody that's coming in to be your nurse and take care of you, right? There's somebody that's going to be a friend to you, a companion to you, a buddy, help you out, right? And especially in terms of veterans, I know we're a hard-headed lot, right? We don't like to not be able to do stuff. I don't know how to put that more.
No,
gently,
yeah,
right?
we don't like to be able to be told to do stuff, but we will definitely do what the fuck we're told if another veteran's like, stop bitching and go do it because you
Right.
need to go do it, right? Yeah.
Right. So the prospect of not only being able to help out veterans, but do it in a way that veterans would actually want that help or enjoy that help, right? So we match them up with another vet, more than likely, that's going to come in there, be into the same, watch the same sports, be into a lot of the same stuff, and just help them out where they really need it, right? Like I said, take them to their appointments, help out around the house, stuff like that. And it really feels like this is something that has a purpose behind it that I feel good about telling my son, like, this is what I do. And, this is what someday you could do if you want to. Right.
So how did you get introduced to that, looking up franchises to jump in? Did you do that through like those veteran programs that introduce franchises, or did you find it a different way?
Yeah. So you've heard of SCORE? It's kind of a
SBA program.
They help veterans kind of evaluate business opportunities and get involved in that. So I initially went through SCORE. They hooked me up with FriendNet. FriendNet has, like franchise consultants that will help you evaluate, number one, if franchise is even for you, but number two, where you fit, right? Like what franchise fits for you.
Yeah.
And you'll go through a whole period of, talking to, the franchisors and their leadership, to, calling around and evaluating these other existing franchises and really deep diving into, they kind of guide through that process. Right.
And did you take advantage of a SCORE mentorship program? Did you have a mentor through that? Yep. So how did they pair you up with a mentor?
So they had an initial call, like, talking about what I'm looking for, what's my plan, which, like I told you, was really kind of up in the air. We sold the house, hopped in an RV and said, whatever comes our way. Right.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, but it worked.
It's like joining the military.
What's that?
It's like joining the military. It worked.
Yeah. Very similar. Yeah. So, we threw out a really wide net. I talked to a bunch of people from SCORE. Eventually I landed with, a kind gentleman that was really able to kind of narrow my focus and guide me into what I was looking for, which was something with a purpose, and specifically working with vets. That's where I wanted to be. And I think we hit a good place here. Yeah. Nice. We're still in the very early stages here, waiting on licensure. Should be ready in about a month here to really hit the ground running, but I'm excited about it. Yeah.
So in that program that you're starting, Seniors Helping Seniors, is that something that VA benefits will help pay for if a veteran needs the assistance?
Yes. So almost every franchise is going to have some kind of benefit to a veteran, whether it's a discount on the franchise fee.
No, I'm not talking about purchasing in as the owner. I'm talking about if I'm a patient, I need in-home care.
Oh, I
Is
see.
that covered under like their VA benefits? Can they use VA
Yes.
benefits to get that service?
So
That's what I meant.
just about every veteran qualifies for some kind of assistance if and when they need it. You know, call up to your local VA, especially if you're already a disabled veteran. If you need any help around the house, don't hesitate to ask for it, because it's not going to be like, you know, a sterile nurse coming in and you know, doing the things that you can do. It's going to be somebody that's going to give you the help you need so that you can continue to do the things that you want to do, right?
Nice, got it. So if a veteran went through your franchise, once it's up and running, they could definitely use their benefits, and their benefits would pay for that program. That's amazing.
Fully covered. Yeah, not a penny.
All you got to do is sit in front of the VA clinic, bro. There's your whole client line. You good. You don't even have to work hard. You just got to sit in front of the VA clinic. Yeah. Oh, I see that you Ubered here. You know, I know a guy that can find someone that can drive you to these appointments.
Don't pay for Uber. Let the VA pay for that. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, let somebody come help you cook food.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
VA pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool, man. So how long until you get started? What's your timeline right now for being able to open up? Taking people on.
Licensing takes a while. You know, we got to be all on the up and up. Make sure, you know, our caregivers have the proper background checks. Make sure we're following all those regulations. So that license process takes a while. We got about a month left in that, give or take. You know, and I think about another month or two after that till we can really start taking on VA clients. So, you know, nice. 1 to 3 months. There
you go. See, 1 to 3 months. You have somebody that can drive you to the casino and gamble. Let's go. Right. It's all
if you're in the Las Vegas area and I mean, you need a hand, vet or not, you know, definitely reach out.
For sure. Absolutely, man. Well, so I would like to, I know that when we talked earlier, you said that your page and stuff like that, you're still getting it moving and going. But if you know what that information is, you know, podcasts live on forever because they're recorded and people can listen to them at any time. If you know any of that info that you'd like to share with people that might be in the Las Vegas area that need some help, how can someone get a hold of you to either inquire about the process or inquire so they can start the process to get some help?
So the website is in the works. A couple of ways you can go about it is, give me 1 second here. I want to make sure I get this right. If you were to Google Seniors Helping Seniors or SHS Las Vegas North, that will get you in touch with me, or SHS Las Vegas in general. I've got a couple other franchise partners in the area down in Summerlin and Henderson that are also great people. But if you want to talk to me in particular, SHS Las Vegas North, you can shoot an email to me, and that's just Robert at, let me make sure I get this right again because I just created this a little while ago. It's lvnorthshs.com.
Say that one more time.
That's Robert at lvnorthshs.com, as in Las Vegas North. So, you know, Lima Victor North Las shs.com.
Oh, so Robert at lv
north
shs.com. Okay, there you go. I'm putting it in the chat for all these people so that if you know they got it. So that's good. So 1 to 3
likewise,
months.
if you're a veteran that's interested in being able to help out other veterans, right? And to make some money doing it, you know, hanging out with other vets and giving them a hand. We need caregivers too.
Yeah. So volunteers, right?
Yeah. Well, not volunteers. You get paid. This is you know, it's very flexible hours. You can kind of make your own hours.
Oh, there you
go. You know, helping out other vets, right? Reach out.
So for all you people that are getting out and you say that you miss having a purpose and you miss being able to be around and affect change and help people, leadership and have that nurturing part of what you had in the military, there you go. Rob's got it for you right there. Go help some veterans that need some help so that you can feel like you have that purpose. So now you have no excuse if you live in Las Vegas. Just go do it. There
Absolutely.
you go. It's easy. Yeah.
Well, Rob, man, I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your story, sharing, where you came from, how you grew up, being a knockaround guy, and then your transition out of the military and then into becoming a franchise owner, a veteran success story. I appreciate your story, man. And any closing words before we let you get out of here, bro?
Oh, thanks for having me. It was great to be a knockaround guy, and I hope I can always consider myself one, because one of the greatest times of my life, honestly.
I appreciate that very much. Absolutely. You're a knockaround guy for life. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob ROEMMELE. All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy.
Yeah, man. Rob ROEMMELE. Pretty cool.
Boom. IT extraordinaire. Rob ROEMMELE don't know it yet, but he's about to be working on my SEO while he's waiting to open his doors. You know what I mean?
Well, we didn't talk that much, but I mean, he still consults a little bit on the side. So, I mean, he'll, he's excellent. I remember him being excellent at all that stuff way back in the early 2000s. So I'm sure by now, after owning his own company and then selling his own company and getting out of that business, and
good.
Yeah, sure.
I'm about to put him to work. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
You get paid though. You might get paid. I gotta sell some shit for you. Mm-hmm.
So next week, our future guest next week, we have Navy Chief Petty Officer Chris Luna. He was a corpsman. I don't know if he's going to have his service dog on, so I'm not going to share the name yet, but because I don't remember. But
I know the name, but yes, we will let him introduce.
I'm sure
that amazing companion.
Yeah. Sports is upcoming, man.
When do we pick? When do we pick first?
We don't have games for a couple more weeks. I think it's into next month, but still, it's very close. We got sports on TV this weekend. Got good stuff going on. So, happy birthday, Al Hero.
But real quick, I mean, we're playing music like you're ready to go. I got some questions, dude. I got some questions.
I'm sorry. I thought you was ready.
So,
I thought I'd kept you too late by over talking with my buddies going down memory lane.
It is past my bedtime, but whatever. So first off, here we go. I've been sitting here all night, and I just want everybody to take a look over my shoulder. I want to recognize my extremely talented and amazing wife, Becky. Yet another masterpiece is in the collection. So if you guys don't know, BeckyJoeArt.com. If you guys like art, you like to see some stuff. If you just like to look at good art, go check it out. Show her some love, send her some messages, tell her what you think of the artwork. So, this is just another example of her amazing talent. I just want to tell her I'm proud of her and great job. The next thing I got a question on, though, is what do you think about all these football starts we have? So I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the NFL where there's a lot of turmoil going on right now. Everywhere, dude. Everywhere. Just craziness.
What kind of turmoil are you talking
about? I mean,
the
Browns have turmoil right now. Obviously, they've got like 4 quarterbacks, don't know who's going to play.
Did you watch Shador play the other day, though?
No, I don't watch preseason. Yeah, I mean, it's boring.
He looked good. He looked good in the highlights that I saw. But so
that
means there's a controversy. I mean,
well, I mean, I've just seen it, right? If you believe everything you see on social media, I'm only asking because I know you follow sports a lot better than me. So that's why I was asking.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, for real though. Like I think that Shador Sanders is going to be good in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to be great. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the caliber of athlete that his father was. But to think that he was undrafted and where he's at on that depth chart, like to me, he's more talented.
Yeah, I mean, but also at some point, sometimes you need a message sent to yourself to be able to get your shit together. And maybe that's what they were doing. So if everybody I've heard on like experts and stuff, that's what they said. Like they didn't see it. The interviews didn't prove it. So now he gets to go in there and show what he's really made of. And if you look at it, the dude's starting games, Brett. So like he did go in and show you that I should have been higher. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I don't understand. Like I see the Dion, like people say Dion run his mouth, like Bob says,
Dion ran his mouth and then showed you that it was fucking true.
That's true. But I never really saw Shador really run his mouth.
Yeah, but they're thinking about what they hear on the thing and him doing all this in the game, like showing these Rolex watches and his entitlement.
It was a nice watch, was it not?
Yeah, it sure was. But you also got your number retired for being 1 game over 500 in college. Like there's points where you have to, you know what I mean? Like send that wake up call. And I will tell you this, good on that kid because he's in there still competing and trying to be the starting quarterback, right? He could have been like, fuck everybody, I'm done. That's why I was asking. I didn't know, like for that one, Where else they got? I don't know, just everywhere. I know football season's about to start. Things are going down. I just wanted to pick your brain. And
I mean, yeah, it's like some of the things you're hearing now with Jonty. They're saying that somebody made him change his stance. Because he was known for standing straight up when he was in college, and then now he's standing. He's bent down. So they were saying, "Why'd you make him change his stance?" I said, "I didn't make him change his stance. I just schooled him to the game." So I'm looking for big things from him this year. Like he made John, the guy from what did he play? Boise State that ran for like 2,700 yards.
Jinty.
Jonty.
Oh, look, they've said it's between him and Travis Hunter for Rookie of the Year, bro.
Yeah, probably.
But I will tell you this: I did watch the highlights of Travis Hunter's first game, and I was not impressed.
Yeah,
he did not look comfortable catching the ball on offense, but he looked very comfortable on defense. But like, why the Jaguars are going to continue to try to play that dude two ways in the NFL is beyond me. I feel like, what position is he better at? Put him there. And then I heard like commentators after were like, and I agreed with them. I'd play him at cornerback. I think he's a better defender than he is an offensive player. And then give him some like goal line packages or third down packages if you need to get the ball done. But I think you do a disservice to him in the NFL if you're trying to get him to do what he did in Colorado. Like, you can't focus on one thing. And the NFL is 10 times faster, more speed. There's a lot more going on. And I'm sure the playbooks are 10 times thicker. And so now he's like having to do two things. You know what I mean? You're going to burn that dude out before he even gets started. And that's sad because he's a good football player.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the biggest mistake they could make is trying to make him play both ways full time. Because in order to do that, I think that he needs to be primarily a defensive player. And then if we had a quarterback in Jacksonville, and I say we, because the Jacksonville Jaguars, they've been
like Trevor Lawrence, bro.
No, if we had a quarterback that was, like an elite game manager, could throw the ball exactly where he wanted to every time, and be very, very precise with maybe some out routes, things in the flat, some packages for him on the offensive side, and then playing primarily as a defensive, I think that's where you get the best bang.
Yeah. And let's be real. It's the preseason, dude. So they may be playing him on both sides to see where he fits in better. I'm not a football coach. I just saw the highlight.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. But that's just me for being a 50-year-old guy that never was really a huge football player. But
I also fell in the trap, bro. I heard all the commentators talking.
It translates to either side of the ball
for sure.
For getting the ball at the apex. But to me, I just think he's going to be the best defensive back in the league. Yeah. In the first, 4 or 5 years, whereas I don't know if he's going to be the best receiver in the league. But I think he can be the best defensive back in the league and be a very good offensive player at wide receiver and
like a utility player, dude, on offense. I think he would do that team so much more justice on the defensive side of the ball, but I guess they need help on both sides, right? So you got to figure out which one's more important.
Yeah, they got some good receivers though, man. Like
that's what I'm saying. Let's get him to stop points, and then that would allow them to be more comfortable to score points. If you can help keep people from getting into the end zone, then you give the team a chance to win. But if he scores a whole bunch of touchdowns and the defense still fucking sucks, then it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. That's kind of what I look at. But again, I'm not a football coach, not a football guy. I just know that, there's a lot of eyes on him and Genty because, they said that one should have won it over the other, the Heisman Trophy. Now they're both in, and they're both looking to see what they're going to do. And they both had real good camps. That dude, Scattaboo, he had a good camp, they said right now. They said he's doing really good. I think they got a good rookie class going in this year. It's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, and then you want to see what the physicality, the speed to violence is for the what that learning curve is for Travis Hunter, because he got hurt. Remember, he got his spleen hurt.
Yeah, in college.
Split, right? So that means he doesn't have any body fat there. He doesn't have he's just muscle and very skinny. So what happens? NFL speed, everybody's. Whatever.
Yeah, and playing receiver, bro, them linebackers don't give a damn.
Yeah, let's see how his body acclimates to being an all-pro rookie defensive player and then an auxiliary offensive player. That's how. Okay, Jacksonville, if you're listening to me over this last 5 minutes, we've talked about it, and this is the way we believe that you should use our young rookie. So if you're listening to me, the front office, he needs to be primarily your defensive go-to shut down corner. Nobody's going to throw this guy's way. I mean,
Yeah.
if we play him primarily, and then he can be an auxiliary player, bring him along slowly. And then we bring on the confidence of our quarterback and then put him in some packages, and then maybe he plays once he acclimates his physicality on about week 6. We're going to bring him along and maybe 60% of the offensive snaps. So we'll bring it along slowly, but we're looking for this guy to be the cornerstone of our organization for the next 10, 12, 15 years. So that's what we're looking with Travis.
Sure.
So ESPN, thank you for, okay. I think we've covered that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So real quick too, I know that it's been a crazy week, right? So I'm sending myself something right now because I want to put it up and talk about it. But I did want to once again, while we're on here, thank our man Daddy James barbecue. This barbecue sauce is good. I don't know if you've gotten yours yet, Ty, but
I didn't check my mail today, but I hope I get it because
it's good, dude. It's good.
I was hoping to get some before Danny Dietz so we could maybe put it on one of Al's entries. If we won with that,
there you go. It's right there. Let's do it. I have another one we can take out there too. But it's been a very, and I don't know, you might even have it up. And so I'm looking to possibly pull this thing up. Maybe you have it, but one of our really good friends got really good ass news this week, right? Like super lucky pick, right?
Yeah.
Out of all the entries in a barrel, it came down to that one. I don't know. Do you have any of that you can share and show or no?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a photo. I'll just say it. But so there is a huge World Championship cook-off called the Jack Daniels World Championship Cook-Off. It's held in Lynchburg every, I want to say, October. So Lynchburg, Tennessee, and it's very prestigious, and you have to, either win 7 events as the grand champion in very competitive Texas or national events as a state qualifier event, win 7 of those, and or win certain events that are automatic qualifiers or other events that get what's called a bung, which is something roughly like a little, coin.
It's like a poker chip almost, right?
Poker chip, and it gets thrown into a bourbon barrel, into a whiskey barrel, excuse me, and then one gets pulled out. Well, some teams got pulled out, and one of the teams that got pulled out was a guy that's on my barbecue Mount Rushmore, a guy by the name of Tom Clark, whose team name is JC's Good Old Boys. So he introduced me to the barbecue game. It's been something that's been very therapeutic for me to be involved in that barbecue culture. The preparation that's involved in barbecue culture, getting your equipment ready is akin to, kind of the stuff we did in the military. So it's been very, very good for me to get involved with that. So, excuse me.
For sure. So I just wanted to tell Tom and Jen, congratulations. Jim was on here last week, and congrats on making it in there. And I just wanted to share this real quick. So for everybody that knows, there's their logo, JC's Good Old Boys. They made it to the Jack Daniels. Now, they got picked, which means they weren't ready for this. So they're looking for people that would be happy to help them out. They're trying to raise some money to get up there to Tennessee so they can do it. They're really going back to back on a couple of different ventures right now, and they're both knee deep right now into helping plan the Danny Dietz cook-off, which is a super close to their heart. So if you can see this, and if it's something that you would want to get involved with, we're just happy to share it for them. Just want to tell them congratulations again. That's one of the hardest working men that I know. He's he'll help anybody. Congratulations to you, Tom, and I hope to see you guys do well up there. But I just wanted to share that for everybody to see, because I'm super proud of him getting over there. So
yeah, and if you're also, throw that back up there. If you're watching that, so Tom Clark is a huge veteran advocate. He's highly involved with the Tomball VFW. So anything where he could get veterans involved in that barbecue culture, he did. He fostered those relationships. So Tom Clark with the JC's Good Old Boys is a great friend of mine. Like Matt says, one of the most loyal dude, one of the most hardest working guys, been in the oil industry of Texas, dude, from the great state of Tomball. I call him the Don of Tomball. Dude means a lot to me. He's one of my favorite people in the world, and getting this draw to be able to go to the Jack Daniel's World Championship, you see that invitational barbecue for 2025 was a huge dream for Tom Clark himself. But it was also a huge dream of a guy named Dave Holloway, who was a Marine that served, I think, during Desert Storm and in early Iraq. And so they got to know each other at the Tomball VFW. So, hey, get involved with your Tomball, with your local VFWs, get involved with the barbecue culture. And if you can, support JC's Good Old Boys with their dream to go to the Jack Daniel's World Championships.
Well, they're not dreaming, they're going.
Yeah, I mean, their dream of, they're going anyway, but
help them along the way any way you can, and they're not asking for you to sponsor everything they're doing. They're just like, if you just want to help them, if you want to, just do that, help them out. We'll post this on our social media this week so people can see it and so that they can share to it. Really want to congratulate there.
For sure. Yeah. And also Jen, we talked about how hard Tom Clark works. Jen Lee works her butt off too. And she's one of the best promoters in the business. Her big event is coming up on the 11th and 12th of September. It's the Battle for the Paddle, the Danny Dees Memorial Classic Cook-Off. $50,000 in cash and prizes, $7,500 to the grand champion, $5,000 to the reserve grand champion. If you're out there, if you know what the barbecue culture is like here in Texas, and if you've never been to a KCPS event, or if you've never been to Jellystone Park, it's a wonderful RV park, great area. The podcast guys are going to be out there. Al Hero is going to be cooking with Carlos Calzada of Smoking Lowe's Barbecue. It's going to be a great weekend. So we encourage anybody in the greater Houston area to come out there, check that out, and contribute to that. But again, Matt, appreciate you going down memory lane with me and a bunch of my knockaround guys. And as always, appreciate you putting on the show with me.
Always. Thank you, everybody that tuned in tonight. Hope you guys got to enjoy the walk down memory lane. We don't often get to do that where we bring a lot of people on, but it's always a good time to see some of the people that made a difference in our careers and our development into who we are today. Again, you got a story to tell. We have an email. We have a Facebook page. We got an Instagram page. We're on YouTube. You can reach out to us.
Yeah.
Reach out, like, subscribe, share, follow, share it with your friends. If you want to tell your story, reach out to us and we'll find a way to make it happen for you. We are selling shirts. Buy those. SameFlagSameOath.com. We'd love for you to do it. I would just like to hear cha-ching once this week. So that's the challenge for all y'all. I want my phone to go cha-ching, and it's not because I'm giving shit away for free. All right. Scan the QR code. And other than that, man, I'm out. I enjoy doing this every week, and I appreciate everybody that tunes in. So we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Hey, you don't need your money. Go and scan this right here. Give us some of your money and, support some good causes. Get this Wax Poetic, this Phenomenal, or this bar shirt. This Bar Story shirt is probably the best one. He waited until the end and designed it himself so he could see what he was up against. But anyway, all of it's for a good cause. Go to SameFlagSameOath.com. See us here every Thursday. If you're watching us on YouTube still, be sure and like and subscribe, follow, share with everybody. Come here on Thursday, 7 p.m. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
If you or someone you know is in crisis, contact the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255. Then press 1.